The Odyssey, Book 3, King Nestor Remembers. Alright. Book 3 begins with Telemachus and Athena disguised as Mentor, which is an example of... Right! Do et machina. Sorry, pardon my French. To discover what happened to his father, which is an example of... Right! Journey for self-discovery. Telemachus also sails as really a measure to escape the roughshod, which means... Yes, harsh. Well, usually it means horseshoe with protruding nails. Treatment the suitors afford him with. Once the crew and Telemachus and Mentor or Athena arrive in Pylos, they meet King Nestor. King Nestor's people are giving libation. Libation means, right, the pouring of wine or any other liquid in honor of deities. In this case, they're giving libation to, right, Poseidon. King Nestor is often described as Nestor, noble charioteer, which is an example of, yes, epithet. Likewise, Athena is often described as bright-eyed Athena. Well, not really here. Maybe here instead. Nestor asks Telemachus who he is, and Telemachus says, I am the son of Odysseus, which excites Nestor because Odysseus, he says, was a very cunning man. Odysseus designed the Trojan war horse, which ultimately helped the Trojans, well, the Grecians, win the War of Troy, which is an example of, right, use of history. King Nestor then lists all of the heroes of the Trojan War, which is an example of, right, you got it, cataloging. But even though they had won the Trojan War, that didn't mean they were on very good terms with Zeus. In fact, Zeus gave them a lot of hardships overseas, and so there was sort of a war after they had a war. See, the two brothers, Agamemnon and Menelaus, didn't know what to do. So Agamemnon said, all right, everybody, we have to stay. We have to make sacrifices. This way we're on totally good terms with Zeus. And then Menelaus said, no, we definitely have to go out to sea. We have to, go on boats and stuff. Of course, they didn't talk that way. But what they had was a harangue, which means, right, a long or intense verbal attack or argument. It's spelled Harangued, in case I didn't say it correctly. Anyway, Menelaus and King Nestor went on the same ship. And eventually, Odysseus sided with Agamemnon. Each of them eventually met in Lesbos, and they all decided to head home. But they all decided to head home on different ships. We know that Nestor's fine. He's still the king, and he's alive. That's why he's talking to them today. And we know that Menelaus is still existing. We know that what happened to him was that he got stranded in Egypt, and he was the last to come home. And so, Agamemnon is the one who's really tragic. We don't know what happened to Odysseus, because that's the entire reason why we're talking to Nestor. But what happened to Agamemnon was, Agamemnon had returned safely, but what happened was, Aegisthus had seduced Agamemnon's wife, and so they plotted to kill Agamemnon, and they did. Die, 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 and so Agamemnon died. Many times, King Nestor uses a lot of, mean language against Aegisthus, which is an example of elevated language, or insults. It was 7 long years after Aegisthus had killed Agamemnon. Agamemnon's son, Orestes, wasn't a kid anymore, so he decided that he had to kill Aegisthus. It was only right, since Aegisthus had complete control over the people, and he wasn't even a nice guy. So what happened was Orestes said, "Die, die, die, hubba hubba, heebie deebie, hubba, you die." And so Aegisthus died. This is what makes Telemachus really realize that he can save his father. He can make it so his father can come home. And Athena says, yes, you can do it. You have to. The gods are with you. It's absolutely necessary. And King Nestor does too. Leaving them with the realization that it wasn't Mentor. It was Athena all along. And so King Nestor realizes that in order to ensure that the trip will mean Odysseus is safe, and so is Telemachus, they have to sacrifice to the gods. They have to use a heifer. The heifer meaning, yes, a young cow over 1 year old that has not yet had a calf, or a sacrificial beast for Nestor to the gods, must have gold horns and must be crowned by his sons. One of the sons is impetuous, which means, yes, rash or impulsive action or emotion. This is used to describe Thrasimede, or Thrasymenede, if I didn't say that right. King Nestor says that his son, Pisistratus, must help, yes, Telemachus on the trip, on the chariot to Sparta. They will meet Menelaus in Sparta. And so, before they go on the chariot, they sacrifice the heifer, which means, yes, a young cow over 1 year old that has not yet had a calf. Credits. These are the credits. Credits. These are more credits. Credits. More credit. Thank you for watching the Odyssey, Book 3, King Nestor Remembers.